involvement with United Way was through the community garden. A year ago now, I was a teacher at Central Senior School, and we were offered the opportunity to know about it. So I took a class down, and we learned a lot. It was awesome, and so that was great. And the kids really were engaged. So was I. Learned a lot. And during conversations that day, it came up that there were volunteer options outside of just being a teacher on a school trip. And I thought that would be really valuable for my wife and myself and my son to do. So I kind of forgotten about it because winter came and then COVID hit. But my name fortunately had been on a list, and I got an email as soon as they were allowed to open up. And so we were emailed and we said we'd love to. So we've been down there and we were harvesting vegetables through the summer for the United Way. Well, it feels great. It's a needed resource, and it takes a community to do, right? It's not going to pick itself or grow itself, and you need people to do that. And I think it's very important when you're fortunate, like our family is, to give to your community. To me, that should be an obligation, right? So that's how we roll in this house, and so we felt privileged to be part of it. Meaningful part, I think, would be, selfishly speaking, I'll be honest. I mean, the right answer is giving to the community, and I think we've already sort of agreed that is the point. Mm-hmm. But I'll be honest. I think the most meaningful part for me is offering my 14-year-old son the opportunity to be mentored. That this is what people should do. Mm-hmm. And he grudgingly went most times in the beginning, and that's okay. I think I would have at 14 been exactly the same, but every single time that we went, when we got in the car, we had learned something. There were conversations about, that was pretty cool, eh? This, that, or the other. Mm-hmm. And so just being honest, they often weren't about the charity, but I think that'll resonate down the road, Well, for me, I love gardens. So there was this constant learning. There's so many things that grow there that we can't grow in our backyard, or I don't know how. But I think the coolest thing I learned was about the solitary bees. So when you go to this, that's the beautiful thing about giving to your community. You get way more than you give. Mm-hmm. And I was under the impression, and I'm a 48-year-old teacher, this is embarrassing. I always think of bees in hives. Mm-hmm. And I learned that over 90% of bees are solitary dwellers and in the world. And that's all on display there too. And so for me, I just found learning about how the bee part of it is essential, really, really cool. Well, I learned that there's a lot of people who were chomping at the bit to be involved in these different charitable projects, So that's pretty interesting to see that people felt limited by the pandemic, not just in terms of getting out there and doing things that they would like to do for themselves. There's a whole bunch of really, really awesome people in our community that were excited when certain things were lifted, certain restraints, because it meant that they could go and become involved in their charity projects. And that's pretty neat. Well, I would encourage them to start small. A lot of people, I think, when they you hear United Way, would you like to help the United Way? Would you like to help Heart and Stroke? Would you like to help? We can list all the different things that certainly that our family's been part of over the years. It seems big. The term United Way seems large. Start small. Go rake a neighbor's leaves for no other reason than it would be a nice thing to do, and see how you feel. That's easy. That's 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Go do that. That you can do. How do you feel? Felt good. What did the neighbor respond? Well, they actually were really appreciative, right? So now you have the concept of what it can feel like and how easy it can be. Don't attach yourself to big names like United Way. Call the United Way and say, I don't have a lot of time, but I'd like to help somehow. They will have a list of little things that could be done. And I really think that would be my message, is start small. Don't think you have to commit to every Tuesday.
Mhm.
You know, there's lots of people out there who would love your help when you can.
Perfect.
I would just say how amazing Mallory was. The staff there are so cool, so flexible, and so with it. I mean, very knowledgeable and so appreciative of anything that we did. It's just this little thing you wouldn't even know was happening. You know, you drive by Crayola all the time, and I didn't realize the impact that that people like Mallory and her team are having on our community. It's really amazing.